Hey, check 1, 2. Sorry. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome and thank you for tuning in. In this class, I want to continue developing our awareness of our spine and going into the different facets of where we can build awareness. So the first class, we built awareness in our low back and our pelvic area. Then we did some spinal twists, which is more the upper back. We did some side bends, which gets into the rib cage, as well as the outer casing of the abdominals here, the oblique muscles. And today I want to work into some back bends and also awakening the neck muscles. Nothing too intense as far as like peak postures go or anything like that just yet. We're still working the preliminary. So if you're new to practicing with me, I'm not sure if this is your first month with me, but if it is, then just kind of know we sort of lay a nice strong foundation, and then we slowly build on the challenges as we go along. And really it's about developing body awareness, and that body awareness eventually leads to access to greater postures. So the way that I like to start up today is just warming up the back muscles, and then we can work through it. So we'll start. I do want to say thank you to Second Wind. This is a beautiful brand new yoga mat, and this has a cool design. It's, first of all, it's a cork yoga mat, so a little more eco-friendly, and it has this beautiful design of the horse. Let me just see if I can show you. It's gorgeous. I love the artistry of their products. They partner with real artists, which is amazing. It's a beautiful mat. Okay, so let's start on our back today, please. You just have your heads facing the front of the yoga mat. And have your knees bent, your arms overhead to start. Actually, I'd love for your hands to palpate the back of your neck. So take your fingers, place them to the back of your neck, and you'll feel kind of, if you palpate, meaning touch the spine of your neck, you can start to get a feel for which vertebra are pushing outward, which one are drawn inward. Now, typically the way what that means is which vertebra are pushing outward are stiffer, they're less mobile. And the ones that are inward are more mobile, potentially even hypermobile depending. So what we want to do is mobilize the stiff joints and stabilize the mobile joints. And that's very hard to do since they're all stacked on top of one another, and they're essentially, like it's hard to isolate one over the other. So what you can do though, however, is observe this area and start to get to know it, and see, you can palpate more often and see if what you're doing in your yoga practice is bringing balance. So first thing I'd invite you to do is press the back of your head down into the ground gently, straight down, without tucking the chin, and just see if you can get any of the vertebrae that are stiff, the ones that are poking out. See if you can kind of move them in a little bit just by pressing the head straight down. And I don't mean the neck straight down, but I mean the skull, for the Germans in the house, the head itself is pressing down into the ground. Okay, as you press the head down, see if you can kind of move those stiff vertebrae, wherever they are for you, up away from the ground. Now the same curvature of the neck that we want to form, which is the cervical spine, by the way. We want to form that same curvature in the lumbar, the low back. So press your pelvis and like almost like your tailbone into the ground, and see if you can lift the midsection up away from the ground so that you can sneak a hand underneath your low back over here like this, okay? You're gonna keep that and then recheck. Now that you have a lumbar curve, do you still have your cervical curve, okay? So cervical curve is created by those neck muscles pressing the back of the head into the ground. Lumbar curve, pressing the pelvis down. Now you want to just check right in between there is the thoracic, the upper back. Now when you form the two arches of the cervical spine and the lumbar, the neck and the low back, the upper back will start to arch. See if you can actually soften behind the heart and relax the upper back onto the ground. So is it possible to be in an arch in your low back, arch in your neck, but keep the middle back as it is for right now, just like no effort at all, just softening. And you just hang there for a few moments. Still, I'm palpating the neck, just still finding it. You know, when I find a stiff vertebra, one that sticks out, I see if I can figure out a way by pressing the head or slight movement, if I can move it back into place. And then I just recheck in with my thoracic, make sure the middle back is on the ground, and the lumbar, make sure the low back is off the ground. So this tends to be tough to pay attention to three curves at once. They're all one spine, but for many of us, they tend to be out of balance. All right, so now let's start to work into a little bit of bridge lifts, activating the buttocks, the back muscles. Now, I'd like you to see if you can keep your neck in a gentle arched position. Okay, reach your arms by your sides, a comfortable distance from your hips, so not like hugged into your sides at all. Make sure you have the low back in an arched position. Root down through your heels. Keep the arch in your low back, and think about your belly button being maybe the top of your belly button, or even closer to your solar plexus being the highest point, okay? We want that to lead the way into bridge pose. So inhale, press down, and let the top of your belly button or even the solar plexus try to rise higher than the rest. You know, of course, your hips are going to lift. We know that. But try to press the belly button to the sky, and that'll get your low back muscles firmed up. Okay, now check in with your skull. Press the head into the ground and see if you can get your neck to find that arch position. And then slow, release the hips back down. Now you have two options with the arms. Either bend the elbows like so. Let's try it like this, okay? Press down, use your buttocks, use your back muscles to press the low back to the sky, and press the skull into the ground so your neck lifts up away from the ground, not your head, your neck. Okay, then slowly low back down. Now you can keep your arms like this, or you can take movements in the shoulders if you'd like. We'll try one round of this and then you can decide. Inhale, use your back muscles, buttocks, take the arms up and overhead. Press the shoulders into the ground, press the hands into the ground, press the head into the ground. And then exhale, release the arms. Now it's your choice which you choose. Let's get back on the breath, I apologize. Arch in the low back, arch in the neck. Inhale, reach up, hips up, belly button up to the sky, low back up. Exhale. Low back stays lifted all the way down, upper back onto the ground. Inhale, reach the arms up and over as an option. Otherwise, keep the bent elbows. Exhale, release. Remember, the head presses into the ground, the butt presses into the ground, the back, upper back presses in the ground. Inhale, reach the hips up, low back up, maybe the arms overhead. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Low back to the sky. Press the head back into the ground. Hands back into the ground. Exhale. Okay, pause and take a rest. Let's do another round. Inhale. Press the low back to the sky.
Press the head into the ground, neck lifts, low back lifts. Exhale, release, buttocks to the ground, low back stays off the ground, upper back touches the ground. Inhale, press into the feet, lift up, low back to the sky, belly button tries to reach to the sky, and release. And when I say belly button reaches to the sky, I don't mean puff out your abdomen, I just mean press your low back up to the sky. Inhale, press down into your feet, press your low back to the sky, press your head down into the ground. Exhale, release. And everything with the neck, by the way, is always subtle. So don't forcefully press your head into the ground. Let it be like a 10 to 15% effort. Again. Again. Okay, and relax. Take your right leg to the sky. Interlace the hands behind your hamstring. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, well, the supine version of it. Activate your quads, so straighten the leg. And with your hands, pull the leg tighter into your chest. Now, when you do that, the hamstring tension will bend the knee. So use your quads to keep the leg straight and only pull in to the degree that you can keep your legs straight and your quads will stay active. Stay with that. Now start to stretch the bent knee straight and strong. Okay. Now, as you did that, you probably noticed that your right leg bent again. So keep your right quads active. Now in this position, see if you can plug your shoulder heads onto the ground and then press the back of your head into the ground so your your neck starts to lift up off the ground. And the head is more or less, or the chin is more or less perpendicular to the ground. So you're not tucking your chin, you're not opening your throat, it's just level. Okay, now lift your left leg up an inch, just to activate the psoas muscle, and press your right leg into your hands to warm up the hamstrings. So your right leg is pressing away from your chest into your hands, while your hands are pulling your leg closer to your chest. Remember, your quads are active on both legs. And your thigh bones are neutral, so don't rotate them out. Pressing the head into the ground, one more breath. And release. Second side, take the left leg up to the sky. Use your quadriceps to firm the leg straight. And with the leg straight, press the shoulders back into the ground and head back into the ground. Now, keeping your left quads active, flex the left foot and start to straighten the right leg. Keep pressing the back of the head into the ground. And now press the left leg into your hands. Your hands are resisting, so your hands are pulling your leg towards you, but your leg is resisting that pull by pressing back into the hands. Press the head back into the ground. Follow your breath. One more. Okay, and release. Now, take your hips, shift them to the right side of your yoga mat, and we'll take a twist with the right knee goes across the body. Now, before you go all the way across, check in with your left ribs. Lengthen the left side of your torso as much as you can before you come into the twist. Okay, now take your left hand to your right knee and press your right knee up towards your shoulder until you feel your hip flexors of your right side engage. Now you're going to feel your right chest kind of goes with it. So pull your right shoulder to the ground. Now with your right fingertips, gently turn the head. So move the head so that the head goes back towards your left shoulder and the face turns a little bit towards the right. It's gentle. Firm up your left leg. That's the straight leg. And now here's a little action. You're going to press your left hip into the ground until your left ribs and waistline lift up away from the earth, as if you're trying to side bend towards the ground with your, it's kind of hard to explain, but press your left hip down and see if you can get your left waistline, abdominals to lift away from the ground. Okay, and then release. Slowly shift the hips over to the left side of the mat. Right leg straightens and left leg comes across. Now, I have to move the microphone, sorry. Okay, now take your right hand to your knee. Your left knee pushes up into your hand. And you're not coming all the way over yet, really, by any means. You're just pressing the knee up into the hand. It's floating in the air. And make sure, by the way, I'm sorry I didn't say this, your right rib cage and hip are long, okay, away from each other. Now, the same is true. Instead of just turning your head to the left, you're going to first move the back of your head here to the right, then turn the head to the left. Okay, the knee is pressing up into the hand. And the right leg is firmed up straight. And now we make sure that we add on that muscle activation of the obliques, of the underside obliques. So you press your right hip down to side bend up to the sky. And release. Come back to center. And we come back to our bridge lifts. Okay. Inhale, press the feet down, back of the head down, lift the hips up. Maybe the arms go overhead if you prefer. Exhale, hips back down. Low back stays off the ground. Middle back on the ground. Inhale, reach up. Press the belly button to the sky. Exhale. Inhale, up. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. All right. Take your right knee, pull it in towards your chest, and see if you can interlace your hands around your right foot. Now, this time, kick your foot up into your hand, the best of your ability, and maybe, you move towards straight. It's possible. Otherwise, strap around the foot is a great idea, okay? Now, with your hands interlaced around the foot, start to straighten the left leg away from you if possible. Now gently press the back of your head into the ground without lifting your chin. So chin is just vertical with the ground. Two more breaths. One more breath. Okay, and release. Before we do the other side, you take your left hand, slide it underneath your neck, and reach for around your right ear, okay? Very gentle. You draw the face back, the right side of your head back towards your left shoulder. That will initiate the turn of your neck. It's gentle, nothing extreme. just go, don't go too deep into this. And you're resting on your right hand. Now use your hand to kind of glide the head back slowly, slowly, slowly. Switch hands. The other hand goes underneath your neck and reaches for the other side of the ear and head, and just glides the head back towards your opposite shoulder. If anything doesn't feel right, you back out of it. All this does, and what I'm going to kind of share with you today, is trying to keep the neck in more of a neutral position the best we can, which is a slight curve, a slight back bend in the neck. And I'll explain again when we go back to twists. If your hips are on the ground, you lift your hips up and you move them away from the direction that you're twisting. Same is true with the head. So slowly unwind, use your hand to help you out. So I'll show you this. If you don't move your hips, then what happens is you wind up doing more of a forward fold, which is okay too. There's nothing wrong with that. Just if you want an even twist, you move your hips up so that the right hip, like in this case, lines up with the skull still as you twist. Okay, this is an even twist without doing any sort of forward folding or anything, right? So you move your hips the opposite way from the direction that you're twisting. Okay, most of us know that. Same thing as with the head. If you turn the head and you don't move the head back, then it's more of a forward fold for the neck, which is fine. Again, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a movement that we want, but a lot of us are very good at that movement. When we turn our head in life, we tend to turn from the face, right? So what this is teaching you is to move the back of your head towards the back. It's like looking, imagine you had eyes in the back of your head. You would turn the eyes, the back of the head, towards the opposite shoulder. Then you get a pure twist of the neck. And you got to be mindful there that you don't go too deep, because the neck is very sensitive, very easy to throw it off. So it's all subtle for you, and what I look like is not what you'll look like. So, you may be more or less dependent upon your range of motion. Okay. So now that we just understand a little bit about keeping the plumb line or the center line of our spine when we twist, rather than, again, there are times where we're going to be doing side bends when we twist, when we do forward folds, when we twist, we do back bends, we twist. But a pure twist is just keeping the center line. If we know that, then we can veer off of that center line on purpose. Okay, so let's take the left leg straight up to the sky, and bend the knee. And if you can, interlace your hands around the left foot. Gently kick the foot up into the hand. And if you can get it straight, wonderful. If not, have a strap around your foot. And then option to slowly straighten the right leg away from you. Okay. We know, there's a form of healing therapy called craniosacral therapy, and that really, from a muscular standpoint, I couldn't tell you really from the energetic standpoint. I'm sure, having a spinal cord that runs from the skull down to the sacral area and runs out, I'm sure that has something to do with it. But from a muscular standpoint, we have all these muscles that run from the back of our skull, that run all the way down to the sacrum, to the pelvis. And so what we don't usually think of is, as humans, we don't really think of that our hamstrings could be affecting our neck, or the back of our pelvis and buttocks could be affecting the alignment of the neck, because we don't think of ourselves in a one-piece muscular suit, but really that's essentially what we're in, okay? And so if you pull on the fabric of, if you imagine wearing a onesie, like a piece of clothing that was tight, if you pull on the fabric at any point, it pulls on the fabric at all points. Okay, and then release. Okay, so now the idea here is we're going to shift our hips to the right, straighten the left leg. So the left foot, left heel is in line with the skull. Gently, before doing anything else, I want you to just kind of explore this for a second. Just turn the back of your head to the left, so your eyes face to the right, right? And just feel what that's like to see if you can get into one straight line. Now, when we twist, to be able to twist all the way, you can feel it. It's pretty hard to twist the neck, even with your pelvis on a slight diagonal. It's very hard to get into full twist like this. So just take your right knee, the top knee, over a little bit more to the left and feel how hard that is. And I'm not suggesting that we'll be able to do this or we should be able to do this, but rather use it as a marker of a twist from the pelvis all the way through the head. My suggestion is, as we start with the head more neutral, like looking up to the sky, okay? Now take your leg up to your hand and see if you can grab your foot now, okay? And with your foot, kick gently on a diagonal upward into your hand, so you're not going all the way over. Now, it's very easy to overdo this pose and just fall into the twist. So I'm not going to ask you to do that right now. I'd like you to stay right in the upper diagonal as we stretch just the IT band and outer hip here. And then slowly press the back, like lift your head up, move the back of your head towards your left shoulder, and turn the neck. Now press the side of your head gently into the ground, thinking about like you did in bridge pose. And observe, if it doesn't feel right, then don't do that, like maybe you lengthen that side of the neck, and we have to just kind of observe and then take action based on what we feel. Yes, you're stopping yourself from twisting deeper on purpose here, okay? What helps is pressing the outer edge of the left foot into the ground so your left outer hip muscles activate. Come on out, okay? For me, that was a big outer glute strengthener to stop the, from overdoing it, which is a good thing. We want to strengthen that. Come back to center, hips to the left, right leg straight through the plumb line. Okay, before we do anything, just in this position with a slight twist of the pelvis, the twist through the spine, I'd like you to just check in with your neck, see if you can move the back of your head towards the right shoulder, and what happens if you look to the left now. Okay, now I suggest that we do this with head neutral for this round, especially as we're warming up, and see if you can pull your leg, tighten your chest, and grab your foot. Again, a strap if you can't grab the foot, and then kick up on a 45-degree angle and stop yourself from twisting further. Okay, just stay here. Now, to stop yourself from twisting further, if you press your pinky toe edge of the foot on both legs, in this case, on the left leg, press it up into your hand and your outer hip will engage. On the right leg, press the pinky toe edge of the foot into the ground and your right outer hip will engage. Okay, while they are stretching, you're creating a facilitated stretch and activation of these muscles that are stretching. Okay, and we're minimizing the twist, which is forcing you gently to activate your oblique muscles. Not sure if you can feel it. You may be able to feel it. But this leg tends to be heavy and it makes it easy to twist. But when we twist based on weight like that, if we just let the leg go over, then what twists is the most mobile points. And the stiff points remain stiff. And it doesn't actually bring balance. So the whole purpose of Spinal Reset is to actually bring balance into the system, to find what is stiff and mobilize it, to find what is mobile and to stabilize it. In this case, we're stabilizing what is mobile by not allowing the movement to happen. Okay, come on out. Ooh, outer hips, hey, hey. Come roll over. Come to all fours, hands and knees. Inhale, arch the back and look up. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch and look up. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch and look up. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch, look up. Downward facing dog. Right leg to the sky, inhale. Step right foot forward as we exhale. Come up onto the fingertips and take a breath. Softness. Gather strength, pull your feet toward each other. Now press down into your feet. Get lighter in the hands. Bring the hands to the front leg, inhale. As you exhale, like cat pose, scoop the tailbone and round the back. Tuck the chin. Inhale, lift the tailbone up. You might have to bend your back knee for a moment. Heart up, chest up, chin up. Exhale, tuck the tailbone. Round the back. Tuck the chin. Inhale, arc the back, tailbone up. Heart up, chin up. Exhale, tuck the tailbone around the back. Tuck the chin. Inhale, arch. Hands to the ground, exhale, slow, release. Plank pose, inhale. Exhale, knees down, lower chaturanga. Take your right hand out in front and turn the fingertips to the left. Left hand to the side of your yoga mat. Okay, so you're side bending. Now, roll a little onto your right hip. So you're leaning to your right hip and then pull your right ribs long. Stretch the right leg as long as it can go. And then just kind of pull with your right hand so that your right ribs get a little longer. It's not a big movement, just a breath into the right side. Okay, and then release. Switch it up. Left hand out in front. Get really long on the left side. Lean a little to your left hip. Reach the left foot long. Pull the left ribs a little longer. And back. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Pressing the right knee down to do so. Exhale, release. Press the left knee down. Inhale, lift the right leg up. It's okay if your hips lift off the ground too. Exhale, release. Press the right knee down. Hips lift up like a tailbone lifts up a little bit. Left leg. Exhale. Left knee presses down and pull it forward a little bit. Inhale, lift the right. Exhale. Inhale, lift both feet up. Heart up. Hands up. And release. Two more. Inhale, lift both feet up. Heart up. Hands up. Chin, throat up. And release. Inhale, lift both feet up. Heart up, shoulders up. Throat back. And release. All fours, hands and knees. Exhale, downward dog. Left leg straight up to the sky. Exhale, step. Come up onto the fingertips. Take a breath. Invite some softness in. Gather strength in the legs. Pull your feet toward each other. And press through your left heel. Bring the hands to the front leg. Exhale, scoop the tailbone and round the back. Gently tuck the chin. Inhale, arch and look up.
It's okay to bend the knee in the movement, but get it the back leg straight when you come to the next point. Exhale.
So here, like tuck your tail all the way, chin tucks, straight back leg. Inhale, you can bend the knee to start to move.
Arch the back, lift the heart, then straighten at the end. Exhale, bend the knee a little bit.
Tuck the tailbone round. Now straighten all the way. Inhale.
Exhale.
Inhale.
And last one.
Moving forward, hands to the ground. Inhale, plank pose. Chaturanga. Now, on a diagonal, pull the heart forward and up. Look a little to the left. It's okay, you lean a little to your right hip.
Exhale, come back down.
Switch it up, slight diagonal with the hands. Lean to your left hip.
Pull the left ribs along. Exhale.
Switch it up. Inhale, lean to your right hip, pull the right ribs long.
Exhale.
Switch. Inhale, left ribs long.
Exhale.
Now come even pose. Inhale, lift the belly, lift the ribs. Feet a little wide. Exhale, soften.
Inhale, lift up tall. Exhale, release.
All fours, hands on the knees. Exhale, down dog. Let's take a breath in together. And a breath out. Walk slowly to the front of your yoga mat. Take an inhale and halfway lift. Exhale and bow. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bow. To the sun, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana.
Hands to the heart, exhale. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to the earth, bow.
Half lift, inhale. Left foot back, exhale. High lunge, rise up, inhale.
Open up, warrior two. Okay, so hands to the hips. Square the hips off a little bit, moving the groins back, and press your front heel. So groins back, if you haven't been with me before, means move the pelvis like you're about to sit into a chair. Now press your front heel down, spinning the thigh bone out. Okay, and take your left hand behind your head. Bring the head back over the pelvis where you moved your hips back. Now move your head back. Okay. Soften the midsection for now. Okay. So we're not going to be doing any back bends. We want to keep the upper back full, but keep the head pressing back. Now here's a challenge. Like you did on the ground, if you can, you reach your hand a little bit across and encourage the back of the head to move towards the back of the pose. Okay, rather than what we normally do is we tend to tilt the chin like this and lean forward with the head. So we're actually going to move the head back maybe even a little up with the chin as we reach the arm out. Now what I'd like you to do is place the hand behind the skull, move the elbow back the best you can, and press your head gently back into your hand to activate the back of your neck muscles, something that we don't normally do because we don't have eyes back there. I'm noticing my front ribs kind of popping out. Soften the front ribs and press the head straight back. I'm pressing the right ear back towards the hand. And I feel a stretch all the way through my right armpits to my right fingertips when I do that. That's a fascial line from the neck muscles all the way through the arm bone. Okay, reverse warrior, keeping this whole setup. Pressing the head back. Exhale, hands to the ground. Pivot the back heel up. Inhale, straighten through the front leg. Look forward. Exhale and bow forward. Enjoy a full breath. Tuck the chin. Find that long line from your tailbone all the way to your skull. That connection from the cranial sacrum. Okay, bend the front knee. Step back, down dog. Forward to plank pose, inhale. Chaturanga. Slide the hands wide, fingertips, inhale, lift the chest. Soften the heart. Lift the back of your skull up to the sky, back of the head up. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift the heart, all fours or plank. Exhale, down dog. Let's take a full breath in. And a full breath out. Lift the heels up on the inhale, look forward. Hop, walk, step, whatever you'd like. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale. To the sunrise, Urdhva Hastasana. To the heart, exhale. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale to the earth bow. Half lift, inhale. Right foot steps back. Press down, rise up, high lunge. Open up, warrior two. Okay, again, groins and hips back a little bit. It's like you're about to sit into a chair, and press your front heel down into the ground. Now, move your heart over your pelvis, which means in order for your pelvis to be back and your heart to be back, your low back has to be in an arched position, a gentle arch. You're not like sticking your butt out and doing something like this, but there is a curve in your low back, the natural lumbar curve. Okay, keeping that, soften behind the back of your heart and take your hand behind your head. Press the head back, keeping the throat and chin level, so don't open the throat too much and don't close it off by any means. Okay, now gently bring the left ear towards the back shoulder and reach the left arm forward. So now press your head straight back. Thinking the left ear, I'm going to move it towards you over here. So it's not set forward towards the chest, but over my tailbone, okay? So the head presses this way towards the back, your spine, and then back towards the back shoulder. And if you really reach your left arm forward and head back, you might start to feel a stretch along the left side somewhere. Maybe not, depending on where your tensions lie. Maybe it was on the other side, not on this side. Maybe it's on this side, not on the other side.
Keeping this, flip the palm, reverse warrior. And release, hands to the ground. Pivot the back heel up. Inhale, straighten through both legs. Look forward. Exhale, bow forward. Tuck the chin a little bit, if it's okay. That will stretch all the way. If you tuck the chin, it'll stretch from you'll feel it from your buttocks all the way to the back of your skull, maybe even to the front of your forehead. That fascial sheath goes all the way over. Like a skull cap in if you've ever seen a onesie bodysuit for a wetsuit the surfers use, goes all the way over the top of the head. All right, come on up, bend the knee. Let's step right into chaturanga. Slide the hands, inhale in. Softness. Lift the back of your skull up. Exhale, release. Inhale, all fours or plank. Exhale, down dog. Let's take a full breath in. And a breath out. Lift the heels up on the inhale, look forward. Exhale, walk, step, or hop. Half lift, inhale. Exhale and bow. To the sunrise, Urdhva Hastasana. To the heart, exhale. Okay, bend the knees. Sit down, Utkatasana, hips back, push the heels out, find your outer hip muscles like we did on practice number 1, and then find your low back, just like we did in the first practice, but also like you did today in bridge pose. Think about whatever vertebra on the low back are popping out. See if you can kind of encourage them to move forward. So the way that you do that is move your hips back, move your chest, lift your belly and ribs up. And you can kind of manipulate where your rib cage is to activate certain muscle lines. And it takes a lot of exploration to figure out how to get the back even. Now take your hands behind your head, elbows wide, press your head back and see if you can get your your neck itself into its natural curve. Okay, press the head back and gently now start to look up a bit. Just a gentle opening of the throat. And with the hands, kind of lift the back of your skin on the back of your head gently up as well as you press back. So now you might feel your low back muscles really working. Of course, your outer hips are working, compressing them back to the hamstrings apart. And as your head presses back, the neck muscles are actually working as well. Careful your eyebrows aren't overworking. Okay, and then slowly hips back to bow forward. Halfway lift on the inhale. Just bow this round, exhale. Half lift, inhale. Left foot back, exhale. Press down, rise, high lunge. Exhale, open warrior 2. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle, forearm to the thigh, hand to the hip. Okay, groins back, find a gentle arch in the low back. It might mean moving your ribs back as well, and the low back is forward, so think belly button slightly forward. Not skin of your abdomen, not your diaphragm moving down, but the low back pushing forward, and the abdomen can still be drawn in and up, okay? Now, gentle twist to the spine. Take the hand behind the head today, press the head back, and then think about the back of your head moving towards your bottom shoulder. Back of your head moving towards your bottom shoulder. Your hand stops it from moving that way. Okay, maybe sliding the bottom hand towards the ground, thinking about your left ear moving towards the ground, right ear kind of lifting up away from the ground, left ear pressing down towards the ground. Also, try to lengthen the left side of your neck. Reach the left side of your neck towards the front of your yoga mat. Now we inhale to slowly, slowly unwind the spine. The arm comes out. Ooh, yes. Heel toe the feet across from each other, crisscross the legs. Turn the tailbone straight back. Inhale. Exhale, bow. Just enjoy a full breath in. And out. All right, unwind to the left side of your yoga mat. Prasarita Padasana preparation. Move your feet as needed. Half lift. Exhale and bow. Take the hands, interlace the fingers behind the back. Let the shoulders fall towards your ears first, then draw the shoulder blades together. Stretch the arms overhead. And open up the biceps, the pectoral muscles, the front deltoids. And see if you can let any tension in the neck release. One more breath. All right, and release the hands. Walk the hands back to the center. The front, sorry. Pivot the front toes out, back knee down, left hand to the left. Spin, well, first soften the chest down and spin the left shoulder out. Some of you might feel more comfortable with your left elbow on the ground. You'll place your right hand behind your head and look straight to the front of the mat as you press your head back. Now, it might be a deep stretch for the shoulder muscles to be in this position as well. I do feel it in like the armpit area, which would be, I guess, the latissimus dorsi muscles probably stretching there. Using the back of your neck muscles to press the head back into the hand. Looking straight forward for this round. All right, and release. We'll actually step forward, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale and bow forward. Bend the knees, come into Utkatasana. Hands can come to the thighs to start. Press the back of your hamstrings apart. Press your heels out, sit low. Now lift your belly, lift your heart. Let's warm up the back muscles again. Take the hands, if you can, behind your head. Press your head back and warm up the neck muscles some more. As you press your head back, keep the chin more or less level and try to sensationally feel the low back and the neck being in the same kind of curvature. Meanwhile, try to inflate the back of your heart so that you don't clench the upper back muscles for today. Just keep the neck and the low back awake without affecting the upper back. Okay, and then slowly release. Halfway lift on the inhale. Just bow on this round. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, right foot back. Press down, rise, high lunge. Open up, warrior two.
Okay, so now you take, reverse warrior. Exhale, forearm to the thigh. Right hand to the back of the head. Now move your hips back. And with your hips back, press your head back. Start to open the chest. And so here's what we do. We try to bring the right ear towards the ground, pressing it back into the head. The hand, that is. And the left ear tries to lift up away from the ground. Right ear presses towards the ground. Press your left heel into the ground. Think of the right ear pressing down along with the left heel. See if you can make that connection. It's hard to propriocept your right side of your ear and head with your left heel, but think about those two pressing down. Now, if possible, slide the bottom hand down. Lengthen the right side of your neck. Okay, slow the twist of the chest. The hand releases. Crisscross the legs. Straighten through both legs. Inhale. Exhale and bow. Okay, unwind into Prasarita Padottanasana. Walk your hands to the right. Adjust your feet as needed. Lengthen the chest. And bow forward. The idea here, you're going to interlace the hands of the opposite pinky on the outside. And stretch the arms. Okay, release the hands. Slowly walk back to the front of your yoga mat. Back knee comes down. Left foot out to the left. And right hand to the right. Again, some of you might find it more comfortable to be on your right elbow, and that's okay to do if you like to. But you place your left hand today behind the head and look straight forward, pressing the head back. And really, I hope that what you're feeling or experiencing through this practice is a connection, a curiosity to your muscles of the neck, the low back. And the idea is to go inward to the observation, the experience of what you're having, what unwinds or unfolds or unlocks or at least is revealed to you from activating in this way. Certainly through that observation, you'll feel things that don't feel good, and that's when you make adjustments, adjust out of that and switch. Of course, certain things will maybe feel fine, but maybe be hard or challenging, and you stay with those. All right, and release. Step to the front of your yoga mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and bow. Bend the knees, chair pose, Utkatasana. Let's take a twisted chair. This is one of the lovely postures we're working with a lot this month. Okay, in your twisted chair, sit back, push your heels out, and lengthen the belly all the way through the head. So pull the abdomen through your heart, through your head, then turn your chest.
Now here's the hard part, right? We're in twisted chair. Use your belly to twist, do all the things that we've been learning. You know, belly turns, heart turns, shoulder pulls back. Now think about your head and gently move it back. And think about your right ear rolling down towards the ground. Right ear down towards the ground. Left ear gently lifting up. Right ear relaxing downward towards the ground. Left ear lifting gently. Okay, slowly release the neck so that you slowly look back down. Slide the left foot straight back. Okay. Now gather your strength in your legs. Pull your feet toward each other. Turn the belly to the right and the heart. Gather your strength. Take a breath. Turn the heart, shoulders back. This might be too hard to balance with the head turned, but those of you that are willing to slowly go into it, lengthen the back of your head, move it back, and gently turn the ear towards the ground, the right ear. You could always place your back knee down on the ground for more stability. It's an option. Slowly turn the head back to the ground wherever you are. Take both hands, release them to the ground. Pivot the back heel to the earth. Align your heels with each other and straighten through the front leg. Lengthen the chest and a left hand to the hip. Turn the chest to the sky. Bring the head back. The left hip turns down towards the ground as we've been working on. Chest turns to the sky. Now, if you can, take your left hand behind your head, press it back. Bring your throat back in line with your tailbone. And now bring the left ear towards the ground. Left ear towards the ground. Right ear towards the sky. Left ear towards the ground. Pelvis rotates the opposite way as the head. So you're in a full twist. The pelvis turns towards the ground. Left hip towards the ground. Left ear towards the ground. Slow. Unwind. Head, chest, belly, hips. Hallelujah. Step forward, half lift, inhale. And exhale, bow. Woo. Intense. Inhale, rise to the sun. And pause for Tadasana. Okay, so, woo, okay, intense, real. So, in these postures, like in that Trikonasana, the hip was turning this way and the head is turning the opposite way. So through the spine, you're getting a full rotation all the way through. In a twisting lunge, I realize it's very hard to hold twisting lunge and look at the sky properly and focus on neck alignment. So my suggestion is keep the back knee down, or at least what you could do is you start the pose, get into your depth of your twist, turn, 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 turn. Then when it comes time to the head, slowly place the knee on the ground. Then once you feel stable, turn the head, okay? And work on that in that sort of realm. All right, let's try the other side. Bend the knees. Exhale, belly to the left. Right tricep, left thigh. Place the palms together. Okay. Try to draw the belly up to the skull. So all the way through the top of your head, lengthen, and then turn the chest. Once the belly turns to the left, the chest starts to turn. Now we think about the left. Once you feel like you're in a fairly deep twist here, think about the left ear moving straight back, like away from your arms, straight back, and then left ear spins towards the ground. This is a tough one. Left ear towards the ground,
Right ear a little to the sky. Left ear towards the ground. Okay, inhale to start to unwind a little bit, to look down for stability, and slide the right foot back. Gain your breath, gain your balance. Press through your left heel. Again, my suggestion is we first stay lifted and work to twist the belly to the left. Chest to the left. Now, if you'd like, you place your back knee on the ground for stability and support, so you can focus on the neck, the left ear spinning. And you have to keep picking a new drishti point where your eyes want to stay. So I usually keep the eyes on one point as I turn the neck, then I pick a new point. Left ear towards the ground. Unwind slow. Oh, yes. Hands to the ground. Twist the other way with Trikonasana. So line the heels, back toes point a little bit like on a 45-degree angle, straighten through the hips and walk the left hand back. Right hand to the hip. Turn the right hip down towards the ground and turn the belly towards the sky. Okay, the right hip turns down while the belly turns up, chest turns up, and that's the twist of the pose. The right hand comes back behind your head. Press the head back in line with the tailbone. Now, make sure the right side of your neck is long, okay? As you do this, press your head back and then turn the right ear towards the ground. Remember, pick a drishti point where a point to gaze at with your eyes. When you move your head, keep your eyes on that one point. Then you can pick a new point after your head is still. Slowly unwind. Oh, yes. Come to down dog. Take a moment to feel what you've created so far. Place your right shin across the yoga mat. Tuck your back toes, move your hips back. Turn the back thigh in as you do that. So the back thigh bone rotates down towards the ground. Now take your left forearm just in front of your shin if possible. Your right hand can be there for support. Sometimes if you take your left hand and hold onto your right knee and then lean back a little bit with your upper body towards your foot. Turning the belly. Turning the chest. Bring the head back. All right, unwinding. Down dog. Oh, yes, it's a deep one today. Nothing fancy, but just when you get working deep into these postures and you really pay close attention and pay put your attention deeply on things like the smaller muscles that are in the neck, muscles that we tend to ignore because we're just so used to looking with our eyes that we don't even realize what our neck is doing as a result. So it tends to bring up a lot of self-inquiry, reflections, and deep listening and concentration and focus. You're also working in the upper chakras, which are closer to that spiritual energy. Left shin across the mat. Tuck the back toes and reach the hips back, spinning the back thigh inward as you go. Both hips are evenly off the ground. Depending on, if you need more lift, you lift up higher. That's less flexibility. Otherwise, you go back further for greater range of motion. Your right hand can grab your knee. It's nice sometimes, or the forearm to the ground. It just depends on where you are as to which will feel good. And again, we work into our twists here. Back toes are tucked, so the back thigh is active. The knee could be on the ground, but it's still like active, trying to reach you back there. Okay. Belly turns. Chest turns. The head moves back. And unwinding. What we can do is just slide onto our back here and have your strap nearby. And I suggest a block is a really great idea. And today we're going to, and I'll show you maybe if you want to sit up for a moment. I think it's hopefully obvious what we're doing, but we're going back to that first pose that we were, maybe not the first pose, but one of the first poses we were doing. And the idea is we're going to create one long twist from the head all the way to the tailbone. So what we do is we move our hips away from the direction that we are going to be turning the pelvis. So in this case, I move them to the left to twist to the right. And I try to grab the foot and extend out. Now this is where a block is really nice. I suggest activating the outer hips, pressing the pinky toe edge of the foot, the straight leg down into the ground, and the pinky toe edge of this foot here up into my hand. Then I work the ribs long and get my neck from head all the way to heel in one straight line. Now, if I want to twist, if I'm going to go the next step and I want to twist my head, then I have to move the head back towards the shoulder, and then it will be more even. I notice the underside ear is short because this side's pulling on it. Okay. And then you just work the head back, pressing the head back. All right, let's have you jump in there. I'll skip the side again since I just showed you. All right, so first, step one is lift your hips up and move them to the left. Straighten the right leg so that your right heel and skull are all in one line, okay? Now take your left knee across and you can place your block at any height that you need it to be. It could be remaining in a bent knee, or if you can, you grab the foot and potentially straighten. The block is there. You could always have a strap around your foot. The block is there so that you don't over twist as a safety net, but I still would suggest you press the leg up into your hand and you press the outer edge of the foot that's on the ground down into the ground so that your outer hips are awake in that pose, okay? Stay with that. Now, if you, first thing is align the skull with your foot, so straight up to the sky with the head. That's already a twist believe it or not, because your torso is twisted the other way. But if you want to start working into the twist of the neck, you have to lift the head up a little bit and move it towards your right shoulder in order to look to the left. Think about the warrior two position. The left ear is moving back while the right side of your face is moving forward. I'm a little, it's hard to have a concept of time when I'm not in the pose. I apologize. So slowly, I think it's about time to come out with your head. But if you want to stay in it, please, by all means, stay a few more breaths. And then after you've come out with your head, then your torso and your hips. Okay, and then prepare your block on the other side when you're ready. And of course, take a moment to observe what sensations you're experiencing from that. Lift the hips up now, move them to the right. Straighten the left leg. Okay, again, we want to get long from the left foot all the way to the left side of the ribs. So elongate, do what you need to do to get your left rib cage away from your left hip. And option to grab the foot. I recommend staying with the bent knee first as you twist, so you don't get too heavy there. And then extend the leg, and find your block with your shin or your thigh, wherever you want to place the block is fine. Now press the outer edge of your right foot up into your hand, outer edge of your left foot down. Draw your abdomen up towards the throat. Turn the belly. The next step is being sure that first your head is in line with your foot. And then in order to keep it in line with the foot, we have to actually move it, the back of your right ear, to the left as we turn. And go slow and acknowledge where the tensions are. I don't recommend forcing when it comes to the neck. Now you know better than I the appropriate timing to come out of the pose, since I wasn't in with you on the first side. So if it's right, come on out. Take a moment to just feel the experience. Sometimes a gentle counter twist for like a quick moment to even the spine. And then I recommend we come back to our bridge pose by pressing the back of your head into the ground. Feel the neck. Notice if there's any change. If not, no worries. Just observe. Middle back on the ground. Low back off the ground. And then rise up. Hips up. An even back bend. Strengthen the back body. And release. My suggestion for today is constructive rest. The feet a little bit wide, knees knocked in, and you can either do a hand over belly and hand over heart, or arms in cactus shape. Entirely up to you. If you want to move to Shavasana, please do. And take a moment now, settle into this body and the sensational experience of being live. Feel the vibrational energy that you have moved through this form. You can feel in the form of maybe tingling, vibrating, resonating. Feel free to remain here. Or if you are ready to deepen your breath, please do. Awaken the fingers and toes.
And again, you can either stay or, if you're ready, roll to your side. Come up to a seated position. And bring your head back over the pelvis. And likely it will feel that your muscles are maybe uneven. This is your body's way of working itself out based on what you have provided it with today. That unevenness is the shaking up of your patterns. It may very well be that you are actually moving towards balance. In the next few days, your muscular system will work its way back to its norm the way that it always does. But now it has a new experience to add. And hopefully it takes it and integrates it little by little so that we can reform our patterns and reset. Palms to the heart. Bowing inward. Thank you all so very much for your attentiveness to your body today, to your practice. Namaste. Thank you, everybody. Have a beautiful day.